Hello, and I've just trodden in some YouTube poo. Never mind. I'm sure you all remember the TV show Ground Force. Now, sadly, it isn't on anymore, so we thought it'd be a good idea to bring it back. I mean, how hard can it be?
Well, I should imagine very hard.
Well, we're going to find out. This is the team. There's a lunatic and a retard. And then we've got some
fucking bunch of wankers
who'll actually do all the work. Anyway, let's get cracking.
Right, now since I'm the only cunt on the team, I'm in charge. And since I'm also the only one who went to college, I've drawn the plans.
Where's the water feature?
Well, there isn't one.
Why not?
Well,
all that matters in a garden is a water feature.
No, sorry, all that matters in a garden is a shed.
Yeah.
You're doing the hoe.
I am not doing any hoe.
I don't even know what hoeing is.
Yeah, well,
But
hoeing
anyway, you
is
don't need a hoe. There's only one tool you need for gardening. And I've got it.
It's a hammer.
It'll be a hammer.
It's not a hammer. This
Is that a hoe?
is all you... No, it isn't. No, if you want to remove a plant, say, OK, there are no thistles at this time of year, but imagine they're thistles. How do you get them up?
Well, you would take one of these, which is a trowel,
Yeah.
and then you approach it like that, and you dig around it, lift it, and there it is.
That took you...
About 30 seconds.
Dirty fingernails, cricked back...
Gardening, that's what you do.
OK, now let me show you how I would remove it, OK? See these three here? Ready?
Well, granted, they're gone, but you
They're
can't...
gone.
You can't garden with a
They
shotgun.
have ceased to exist. Observe the genius of my gardening.
I'd rather he had a hammer.
Hammond sent James and I off to get supplies at something called a garden centre. It was a place which seemed to be mostly full of sheds. And what kind of nerd would find those interesting? In the shed zone, James was struggling to find something which matched his rigorous standards.
Do you have any daffodils here?
I'll go and check for you.
Thanks. I don't mean daffodils, do I? I'm just going to nick those from a roundabout. That's quantity of porridge. I meant.
Hello. This is heading in the right direction. The 6x4 Apex shed of Shiplap Construction. It's a very simple structure. It has a window, but it's not really the shed for a man of the stature of... We want something bigger.
Finally, I found something I recognised.
Greenhouses.
I know what they're for. You can use them for growing immigrants and Princess Diana. Stuff like that. Stuff that need to be warm. Go in there. We'll get one of those.
So far, we'd been on the job for 2 hours, and Sir Redgrave's garden had gone from looking like this to looking like this. But no matter, we were men on the move. In the garden, the
Fucking bunch of wankers.
set about building the greenhouse. And with his usual sense of urgency, James started on the shed.
Oh, yes.
Hammond, meanwhile, was preparing to dig the foundations for his rivers of cheese.
Hammond!
What?
You've got to wear that.
What?
You've got to wear that.
Why?
Because health and safety safe will keep you healthy and safe.
Safe from what? Clonkers.
With Hammond protected from
Clonkers.
I got cracking with my water feature.
Costing 1 heavy-duty workshop door end, heavy-duty workshop plain end. 2 heavy-duty workshop window panels, yes. 2 heavy-duty workshop plain.
This was ridiculous. James had to be reminded that we were against the clock.
You spent about half an hour. The screws are not in the right length of the wrong holes. You get to the end of the shed with the wrong screw left over and it won't be long enough. Build the shed. I'm building the shed. You're not building the shed, you're naming your tools.
Is this your tape measure?
Might be.
Good news! news.
It's a Dacia Sandero.
This is the Ferrari Enzo, and this will shift 15 gallons a minute. Now, unfortunately, you do need a generator to run it, but that's arriving now on the back of the articulated lorry over there. Now, the great thing about this pump is that it gives me flexibility. You can either have, I don't know, a little tinkling, gentle dribble of water, or you can crank it up a bit and have the... That's not gone well, has it?
No, it's fine. This is so I can get in to cut. How the hell did that happen with the high wire?
Well, what you've just done is prove that all the health and safety executives' advice is pointless, meddling twaddle.
The smell of bull semen arriving. All right, chaps, if you
My genius plan was to concrete over the lawn.
There's like a little...
Where are my plans? Does it say concrete? Concrete's better than grass. Sir Steve Redgrave is a busy man. He hasn't got time to mow his lawn, which I do, so this is just like a hoover in the autumn. But it looks shit. It doesn't. Grass looks shit because it fills up with watercress. And horns give me hay fever. But you don't live here. Maybe it gives Sir Steve Redgrave hay fever. Oh, for God's sake.
Does Sir Steve Redgrave get hay fever? No. Do you get hay fever? No. Does any member of Sir Steve Redgrave's family get hay fever? No.
See, the thing about this shelf is that on it, one day, will rest a component that Sir Stephen Redgrave, CBE, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, will pick up and use to create something brilliant. And that can only happen because people have sheds with stuff in them. You see what I mean?
You can't prune a tree with a shotgun.
Yes, you can. This is going well.
It's not working.
It is working.
It's not.
Oh, yes, we're going to have a massive bonfire with your prunings.
As I blew the tree to pieces with my under and over hoe, the crane arrived that would lower the seat into place.
Sorry.
Steady. A foot. A foot. No, up. No, you've got to lift it. No. Alan, you idiot, man.
Honestly! How can you be so useless, man?
Hammond is really...
Listen,
No, he's
honestly, that's the only bit of this project that has gone properly. The shed was up and perfect, and you've wrecked the shed, and you've wrecked your stupid, idiotically designed
No, this is a
poncy
loss.
bed.
That pilot
No, it's not a loss. It's not a loss. That is not. It isn't because it turns out that
It
this
doesn't matter.
this is no good for shooting branches off.
No, but the river of gravel cascading majestically through the garden to end in the trees.
Any idea what, how far we are from a river of gravel? No one's got a river of track marks, a broken, stupid toy figure in a hole.
sites along the way on the river of the Quaint's Look
Look at the holes, look at that.
That's steady.
It's gone, how long have we been here? 4 hours, 5 hours? It's gone backwards, guys. We do need to speed up.
And a short while later, James had his shed back up as well.
So you see, you take the big Clarkson off, you can see the big Clarkson is missing, put the big Clarkson on, you know it's in the right place. If a spanner came in here and did that, you'd see immediately that that is not the correct Clarkson for that peg. That should be on there, and that should be on there.
With James suffering from an industrial bout of OCD, I set about removing Sir Redgrave's flower bed.
The traditional method for removing an unwanted rockery is a shovel. Excuse me, guys, can we just hold the music just for a second? Can we hold the music?
Thanks. As I was saying, shovel, crowbars, lots of elbow grease. There is, however, another way. What you need is Dutch prostitutes, a croquet mallet for somebody's tortoise that's not well, and a plunger like we have here. OK. That usually clears them.
James did take the news well.
Look what you've done to my bloody shed, man!
I had this bomb, and that'll buff out.
What time is this programme on? Is it 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Is it 10 o'clock on BBC Two?
Yes.
Are we beyond the watershed?
Yes.
You're a fuck.
James rebuilt his shed again. I began work on me rugby posts.
Have you brought anything that's on my plan?
No.
And how do you even know that Sir Steve Redgrave likes rugby?
Well, I do.
Does Sir Steve Redgrave play rugby?
No.
Do you play rugby?
No.
Does any member of Sir Steve Redgrave's family play rugby?
No.
What?
No member of the Sir Steve Redgrave family plays rugby.
Oh, they don't say that. Well,
Actually, they won't.
Again, James was very angry with me.
I'm surprised how heavy rugby posts are.
Something along the lines of, I'm sorry, James, I am a fully rigged, rate A1, ocean-going...
Sir Steve Redgrave will be here in half an hour. We've got to speed up again.
James's shed was mended again. The digger was camouflaged, and best of all, my water feature was finished. With Sir Steve Redgrave just minutes away, Hammond unveiled his barbecue.
I've used illegal immigrant. So, we fired them up.
Immigrants.
Illegal immigrant. Two of them, so...
But these were tiddlers compared to the immigrants that would cook the meat on the rotisserie.
Oh, that's quite good, actually. Yeah, that's cooked.
Need some adjustment. Hang on, let me just... hang on. No,
Oh, you utter pillar!
Sorry, you're frozen. I'll do it. Sorry, that's a bit more to me. You've moved it right into it. That's all you're doing.
What? Right. Sir Steve Redgrave, turn it right.
I'm just about ready. Oh, no, behind the tree.
In my size.
In ground force.
Why don't we tell him his wife did this and then we've been called in?
Yeah, to put it right.
To put it right.
We're just about to start.
It's coming. Oh, God.
Hi.
Hi.
Sir Steve Redgrave, I'm Jeremy Clarkson.
The
Fucking bunch of wankers.
could sense the mood.
This, I think you'll find, is the pièce de résistance. This, you see the water feature? Now, what I've done is I've kind of turbocharged the pump a bit.
All right, okay. So
No,
we
because-
stand back a little bit then.
Ready? Sir Steve. There we go. Oh, God.
Look what you've done to my bloody shed, man!